Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Madeleine Olivia if you haven't already checked out my videos before, and today I'm going to be doing a vegan cupboard or pantry tour. I have done a video recently within my minimalism series all about me clearing out my kitchen and sorting through my cupboards and sorting through all of my utensils and everything. Even though you might have had a sneak peek in those videos, I thought I would just do a full tour of all the food and all the stuff that I store in my pantry, because we've just been shopping and we have so much food in our cupboards, and I just think it's quite interesting to see what stuff you can buy on a vegan diet, what condiments we have, what grains we have, and what things we always buy each time we go shopping. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So in our kitchen we have this freestanding shelving unit next to our kitchen. This is just because our kitchen's quite small and it's helpful for all the extra grains and fruits and vegetables that we have. At the top we've just got some cookery books, lots of vegan cookery books. They are great. I do have a video on my favourite ones if you want to check that out. And then here I've just stored all of our breakfast foods. So some of them are a little empty. This one has oats in it. This one's got muesli. And then here's 3 different types of cereal. So in there's some Special K, some cornflakes, some, I've just emptied that into there. So there's chocolate stars, gluten-free and organic Dove's Farm. And then here we have some chia seeds and some flax seeds, and then all of these naked bars and stuff. These jars are great. You can get them from any shop. I just got them from my local shop that sells all sorts of knickknacks. If you're from Cornwall, you might have heard of Trago Mills, but they sell them everywhere and they're really cheap, and I love putting the cereal in them. I just think it's so satisfying, and you really get rid of the problem of having cereal go stale. So yeah, this is a great way to store things. I highly recommend that if you're a minimalist or if you just like being organised basically. And yeah, so that's all of our breakfast foods. And then moving down here is our grains and some dates. So we've got red lentils, couscous, yellow lentils, yellow split peas, popcorn, polenta, rice and pasta. I do want to get a couple more jars for different types of pasta because we do have some pasta in the cupboard that doesn't fit. Yeah, it's just so much more organised having it in jars because you can really see what you have, and I repurchase a lot of these things over and over again, especially rice, pasta and red lentils, so it just makes it a lot easier basically. And then in here we have some dates. They are just mixed dates and stuff, and I love this bowl. I think this is from Habitat, I think, or if not Anthropology. I can't remember. It was a present, and the matching one's up there, the stripy one. They're so cute. And then here we have our banana station. We are running low on bananas, but yeah, we normally fill those 2 up and that's us good to go because I love my banana smoothies and I love my fruit. And then in here we have our vegetables. So we have onions at the bottom on the right, and then we've got garlic and we've got potatoes, and in the middle will be squash often, but we tend to just buy those 3 things every time we go shopping. We always buy potatoes, we're always buying onions, always buying garlic. And then down here is our beer collection. Well, I say it's my boyfriend's beer collection, Alex. He has a habit with buying beers and then only drinking them once a month or something, so he's on a beer buying ban because this is ridiculous, and as someone who's trying to be more minimal in my life, this is quite infuriating to me because this is space that could be used for other stuff. And then down there, honestly, is alcohol that's probably been there since we moved in because they were gifts, and I don't drink alcohol anymore really, so this is an alcohol collection for 2 people who really barely drink, so that's interesting. Over here is all of our fruit. So we've got oranges, kiwis, peaches, lemons, limes, and a melon that's looking a bit worse for wear, but I like to store my fruit in these bowls because it's nice and pretty. And yeah, that's just next to our pantry. And then here is our first set of cupboards just to the left of this shelving unit, and in here we have the majority of our food. As you can see, it's very stacked full. If you didn't see our haul video the other day, we did a haul from Holland & Barrett, and Alex bought lots of stuff that we never normally buy, so this is just fun stuff that is not something we regularly buy. So he got loads of sort of fake meat, so mock duck and some vegan pates and some nut luncheon stuff, just because there was a penny sale on at Holland & Barrett, and he loves these type of foods, so that'll be interesting to try out, and I'll definitely be reviewing them in future videos. And then there's some soups that I think he also got from somewhere. No, he visited his mum, and his mum gave him these, so yeah, we've got those as well. And then whenever we go shopping, we always buy loads and loads of beans, so a variety of different types. All of this is from Aldi, all these beans. So red kidney beans, chickpeas, cannellini beans, mixed beans, butter beans. And then we also always buy chopped tomatoes in all varieties. And then coconut milk, because coconut milk is great in curries. And that's a staple of our diet, curries and things with beans and rice. So that's something we always purchase. And then the second layer is all of our sort of noodles. We've got loads of sushi stuff, and a lot of this is from our haul video, so yeah, check all that out, because Alex got loads of sushi things from Sainsbury's, sushi rice, the rolling mats, the nori sheets and sushi rice, and we've also got lots of noodles. And then here he got lots of different types of pate. They're sort of out of these squeezy tubes that you can have on crackers. You've got original, and then you've got herb and a Mexican flavoured one. I actually tried them, they're really good. And then we've got tomato puree. I always buy tomato puree. It's a staple in so many meals. It's just something I couldn't live without, honestly. And then we've got a variety of different types of pastas, which is what I said I needed some more jars for. So we've got macaroni, we've got, I think that's tagliatelle. We've got spaghetti, and then we've got plain old fusilli. And then here is some chickpea flour. They're good for dosas, and there's lots of recipes with chickpea flour, but we just haven't made any in a while, so we need to actually get that being used. Yes, we've got a couple loaves, or a couple half loaves of bread. And then honestly, this food doesn't really get touched because we get gifted it, and then I don't actually eat a lot. I used to have a massive sweet tooth. Let me just talk to you here. I used to have a massive sweet tooth before I went vegan, and then I just completely stopped craving it when I started to eat more fruit, because I feel like those sweet tooth cravings are satisfied when you eat a lot of fruit and a lot of carbohydrates. So I honestly only ever touch this food if we're going to the cinema or something. So we've got these, which I've had for months and months, these Booja truffles. In here is some nuts, and I don't really eat nuts, so they just sit there. The popcorn does get eaten, so there's some popcorn here. And then in here we just keep all of our sweets and treats. So we've got some Dip Dab, some goody good stuff. This brand of sweets is great for vegetarians and vegans because it's not got disgusting gelatin in there. And then there's lots of bits of chocolate, which we don't really touch. I keep on reminding Alex to eat them. I should probably eat them too. So yeah, that's that half. That's where our majority of our food is kept, that we restock all the time. And then this is for things that more like store cupboard stuff that's not stocked as often. So down here I've again got some jars with things like baking stuff, basically. So a lot of this is for baking. So we've got cocoa flour, we've got normal flour, sugar. There should be another sugar here, a brown sugar, but my mum was borrowing it the other day, so that's in her house. Corn flour, some mixed sort of ground seeds, and some coconut. And in here is some seeds as well. I do want to buy another jar this size to put the seeds in from there. In here is our sweeteners. So we've got maple syrup, we've got date nectar, butterscotch, molasses, this Sweet Freedom baking stuff. And then we've got other baking things like ginger, allspice, nutmeg, vanilla extract, bicarb of soda, and baking powder. In here is other baking stuff. So we've sort of got pumpkin seeds, leftover flour, and lots of nuts and seeds that, again, we don't really touch very often, but I'm keeping them here with the intention to bake some more because I want to write an ebook and I want to put some yummy goods in there, so I'll be probably using these for that. Up here we've got some plant milks. We've got cashew, macadamia, soya, and I think this is like a flavoured one. This is orange and mango. So these are some fun ones because, again, Alex went and did a shop and he got all these extra fun stuff that we don't normally have. So yeah, that's that cupboard. And then moving over here to the last cupboard is our spices and our condiments. Now again, this is very, very full because we're intending to sort of get our way through it. When I did a video in my minimalism series where I cleared out my kitchen, and I mentioned in that video that we have a lot of condiments and a lot of spices because my boyfriend isn't really minimal in the way he thinks about things, so hence why he went shopping and bought all this sort of fun food recently. And he has a habit of every time he goes shopping he buys a new spicy sauce. So that's why we have so many. So my intention for the future is to sort of cut this down. We're on a ban from buying condiments so that this can be reduced, but I do enjoy cooking, so it's fine for now. So down here, this is such a great way to organise your spices and a really cheap way to buy spices. We order them off Amazon in bulk and then put them in these jars, which are all labelled. So we've got garam masala, cumin, paprika, etc. And then we've got this Indian spice tin, which when you open up has all the spices inside with a little spoon so you can dish them out. So there's paprika, cumin, turmeric, garlic, garam masala and chilli in there. It makes cooking so much easier, and then we'll just sort of dig into these when we need them. And then here's any other spices that we don't have a lot of. So onion granules, and we don't use as much, curry powder, and then some salt and pepper that we need to use up, etc. And then up here is all of our condiments. So there's like ketchups and hot sauces, sriracha of course, some mustard, wasabi, sweet chili, some peri-peri sauce, some sesame seeds, balsamic, soy sauce, nutritional yeast, vinegar, stock, and then this dairy-free cheese, which is disgusting, don't get it, and I don't really know what to do with it. I think I'm going to try and make Alex eat it because I think he doesn't mind it. And then moving on up here we have, oh, that shouldn't be there, that should be down here. Got some miso paste. Up here we have coffees and teas, even though we really don't drink them a lot. It's coming into the autumn, so I'm sure we'll dig into the teas sometime soon. And then over here is all of our, there's coconut oil, there's tahini, peanut butters, and then there's a lot of Marmite. These are like samples of Marmite, and then, yeah, a few of these Marmites. And that's all of that there. And the only other things that we have in our kitchen are these little jars here, which have got wild herbs, chili, salt and peppercorns, and then our pepper grinder, and then our oil. We really don't use oil. So yeah, I think that's everything in my pantry. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wouldn't personally have this amount of stuff, but when I'm living with someone who isn't a minimalist, it can be hard because he has a habit of buying stuff and he's sort of trying to get better at it. But yeah, this is sort of the starting point, and I'm sure in the future I can update you when we've gotten through a lot of this food, because I do think that minimalism should filter through to things like food shopping, because you can end up spending a lot of money on things that you don't eat or that just sit in your cupboard. But everything in the cupboard currently is all stuff that I do intend on eating and using up in the future for various things, because I don't want to be wasteful. Most of these things I have in my cupboard always: beans, rice, pasta, potatoes, bananas, fruit, spices, condiments like sriracha and tomato sauce and soy sauce, things like sugar. I always have these in my cupboards because they are absolute staples in a vegan diet. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful for anyone who's just transitioning to veganism and is looking for ideas of what sorts of foods to stock their cupboards with. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!